So the short-term rental strategy is a tax loophole that allows high-income earners like physicians and dentists to utilize rental losses to offset their W-2 income. And this strategy has become quite popular in the recent years because of social media, I think. So today I would like to review the short-term rental strategy and share with you our court case where the short-term rental strategy got shut down by the tax court because the taxpayer overlooked a critical element of this strategy, which is passing the material participation test. So let's start with reviewing the short-term rental strategy in 5 simple steps. So step number 1, purchase the property and rent it on a Airbnb or other short-term rental platform. Easy. Step number 2, strategic renting. So rent the property so that the average customer stay is 7 days or less. Very important. Number 3, self-management. Manage the property yourself to pass the material participation test. I'm going to elaborate on this point with the tax court case shortly. So number 4 is cost segregation study. So do a cost segregation study to create a larger paper loss. Because normally a rental property depreciates over 27 and a half years or 39 years. So cost segregation study, what it does is it identifies assets within the building, like interior doors and flooring, that can be written off in the year of purchase through bonus depreciation. And this will help create a greater paper loss in year 1. So last step, step number 5, offset W-2 income. Use these losses to offset your professional W-2 income. So one of the most common mistakes that people make is with the step 3, the material participation test. So whether you're using short-term rental strategy or REP strategy to offset rental losses against your W-2 income, you must pass material participation test. That is so important. And there's 7 ways to pass the material participation test. And we're going to focus on one of 3 most commonly used ways to pass it, which is 100-hour test. So 100-hour test says you can pass the test if you spend more than 100 hours performing day-to-day management or operational tasks. And you got to spend more than anyone else in the rental activity. So what are some of the examples of material participation hours? They include showing the property, taking tenants' applications, screening them, arranging repairs, cleaning and improvements, purchasing supplies, inspecting property, collecting rent, evicting tenants, etc. So these are, if you think about it, very critical tasks in order to run a rental business. So they are considered as material participation hours. So let's take a look at the tax court case together and how the taxpayer failed the material participation test. So this court case involved a ranch property that the Lucero family rented using the short-term rental strategy that I talked about to offset their rental losses against their other income. And they failed this 100-hour test for 2 reasons. So reason number 1, many of their hours logged as material participation hours were not material participation hour. Instead, they were deemed investor activity hours, such as preparing tax returns, paying bills. These are investor hours. Additionally, they also counted commuting hours, which is not material participation hours, but they counted as material participation hours to pass the test. The court disallowed it. The second reason why they fail, they hire a third-party management company. And they didn't even track how much time the company employee spent managing the property. Remember, to pass the 100-hour test, you got to spend more than 100 hours, and you have to spend more than anyone else. So without the time log for the management company's employee, they just could not prove that they spent more hours than the managed company's employee. Additionally, the time log they're supposed to create, they created only after they got audited, which made their documentation less reliable. So as a result, tax court just threw the case out, and the Lucero family had to pay taxes, penalties, and interest on the disallowed 42 grand in rental losses that they try to use to offset their other income. So this case really highlights the importance of knowing which hours count as material participation hours, and the importance of documenting these hours as performed. You probably learned during your training, whether it's medical or dental, if you document, it did not happen. So hope this was therapeutic, and I'll see you guys at the next tax clinic.